He's ready.
Ready for what?
To lead the revival of humanity.
Why are you so important?
Somewhere out west, they're working on a cure. I think what really impressed them was the fact that I didn't turn into a monster.
It's Ash from SuperVideos, back for another video for the Walking Dead Daryl Dixon spinoff. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an interview that Greg Nicotero, one of the producers for the Daryl show, did talking about the spinoff, particularly talking about the similarities between The Last of Us and the Daryl Dixon spinoff, which many fans noticed as soon as the trailer dropped. So we're going to take a look at what he said, break it down, and talk about what this means for the future of the Daryl Dixon spinoff. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break this down. Alright, as always, before we dive into it, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's dive right into it. So this actually comes from an article from comicbook.com. I'll leave a link in the description so you can go and check it out. I'm just going to read through the article and talk through it as we go. Daryl Dixon, producer, addresses Walking Dead spin-offs The Last of Us similarity. Now the fact that they're talking about the similarity means that it's big. Like they even noticed themselves that they need to address it before it gets out of hand. And in a way, it's good that they're addressing it, which means that they're not just pretending like it's not a thing. So that's definitely a plus. The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon producer Greg Nicotero says the upcoming series, different from The Last of Us, lies in the character details. So one thing I do want to say right off the bat here, obviously Greg Nicotero is addressing the similarity, not just in the arc in the Daryl Dixon spinoff, which has to do with him helping a young survivor who might have the cure to the virus, same as what we had in the Last of Us video game and the TV series, where Joel was tasked with keeping Ellie safe and getting her somewhere because she was immune. So it's not just about that. What Greg Nicotero is really talking about is beyond that, and it goes to the similarity between the character arc. So Daryl Dixon's character arc in this spinoff and Joel Miller's character arc in The Last of Us.
We've been waiting for you.
I'm Laurent.
You're the messenger to deliver Laurent.
If I don't make it back, I want him to know I tried.
Keep going for family.
I'm not family.
No. Your cargo.
So the Walking Dead producer Greg Nicotero opened up about the plot similarity between the upcoming Daryl Dixon spinoff and HBO's acclaimed The Last of Us series. When the official trailer of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon was released, fans were quick to point out the horror spinoff seemingly has the same storyline as the first season of The Last of Us, which is definitely true. Like I said, it's way too obvious to ignore. And that's exactly why Greg Nicotero and others involved in the Daryl Dixon spinoff didn't ignore it, because it's just too obvious. The trailer confirmed that Daryl's journey to Paris involves him accompanying a boy named Laurent, who's said to be the key to the revival of humanity. Speaking with EW, Nicotero addresses the two zombie shows' similarities, promising that fans will realize how different Daryl's journey is from Pedro Pascal's Joel once they've watched the upcoming show. So obviously, what he's saying is that you need to watch it to really notice the differences, and that makes sense. But at the same time, that doesn't take away from the fact that the key similarity between the two remains. And that key similarity being that Ellie is just like Laurent. So you can't really deny that. Obviously, with what we've seen in The Walking Dead, they don't go anywhere close to someone actually having the immunity to the virus. So we'll never get to a point where someone is actually immune like Ellie is. So Laurent is likely also not going to be immune, although they might think that he is. But in the case of Ellie, she was actually immune. So that will obviously be the first difference between them. But aside from that, the fact that these two are potentially immune is still a similarity that they just can't get away from. So that's something that I think fans are going to have to accept. But what's after? What comes after is the important part. Like Greg Nicotero even mentioned, it's not just about the plot. It's also about the character journeys. So that's something to keep in mind as well. This is a direct quote from him. He says, "We were already deep into the production when The Last of Us came out." Now, I am going to say something here real quick. Even though the show hasn't come out, the game has been out for a long, long time, for years. So you can't really expect fans to be like, oh, okay, it's not the same, just from that. You know what I mean? Because the game was already out. The plot of the game and the series is not different. So you can't really use that excuse. Just saying. So this is what Nicotero said as he stressed that Norman Reedus' Daryl Dixon doesn't share the same purpose and motivation as Pascal's Joel in the HBO drama. Like I said, just from that, it doesn't prove it. But like he said earlier, we're going to have to wait to watch it to really notice the differences. Another quote from him, "It's really a continuation of Daryl's story. He's willing to deliver this kid, but that's not his sole purpose. His purpose is he has people at home he has to get back to. He needs to get back to Judith and Carol and people at the Commonwealth." Now, one quick thing here as well. I mean, I get it that he doesn't want to deliver this kid. That's not his sole purpose. But if that's the only difference, it's not enough. You know what I mean? Like, yes, sure, he has other stuff going on. And in the Daryl Dixon spinoff, delivering this kid is not the main story arc. But at the same time, it's part of the story arc. You know what I mean? So just saying that that's not the only thing, it's not enough. Greg Nicotero continues, "He kind of got hoodwinked into this detour to France. I think the idea that he connects with this kid feels a little like The Last of Us." So he continues to say, "But once you get into the journey, it doesn't feel quite as similar to me. They're different enough that you can enjoy both." Again, we're going to have to wait and see if that ends up happening. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to go through in this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.